in another league started him because I had bye problems, I might be trading. Oh my God, I want to start Randall Cobb. I'm a big fan of Randall Cobb, obviously. I'm thinking he'd be wide receiver number 1 by the end of the year. But we're talking about a guy Green Bay will always have 2 relevant wide receivers, I think. When Greg Jennings comes back, that's the defense. But the thing is Randall gives you a very unique skill set in that he could develop into one of the best slot receivers in the entire NFL. And that's what I think that offense needed was the deep ball. And Randall had that great catch on the back of the end zones for like a 40-yard touchdown pass. I think the more we see, I don't think that this is a big coincidence that the last 2 weeks Randall Cobb has gone over 100 total yards, and the last 2 weeks have been Aaron Rodgers' 2 best weeks of the year. We're looking at not the fact that Randall is so great, meaning that offense, but they found another option. They now have enough options. You must like it as a Jordy Nelson owner.
Yeah, I was going to say
it's opened him up a lot.
Not that I disagree with what you're saying, but I think it more goes to Jordy Nelson exploded 2 weeks ago, right? Against Houston. He's now the number 1 target. If you look, especially, I think it was the second touchdown, 3 people went to Jordy. The entire team keyed on Jordy, and then Cobb was wide open in the end zone. So I think it's more like they've now developed Nelson as the number 1 guy, and he's going to get his targets, and then Cobb now has no coverage. So, especially in this game, it clearly worked out that Cobb was wide open all the time. So
You said he exploded. Do you think he's also going to exploit some holes?
No.
No, okay.
I don't know what was going on there between
You guys had a little skit where you did the words that sound really bad.
Oh, okay.
In August.
Yeah, okay. I'm just bringing it back. This is a throwback episode. We're talking about skits we like to do, and that was one I liked.
We'll get to there. Yeah, we'll get
You
to
said
there.
that last time. Last time Farmer was like, and he really exploited a lot of holes this weekend, and I was like,
That's why they call him the wine cooler.
That's
folks.
right.
Joe Dirt.
that's why they pay me.
Well, John, I think I can hear you backpedaling. I can hear you
I'm
not
not
wanting to
backpedaling.
admit that Randall
No,
Cobb
no,
is
no.
good at football. But I think we can come to a common ground. I think you're right. I think it opens up the whole offense. I think it's pretty good. I still want to say Randall Cobb's really good at football. I really believe that. And I find it to be a great new little wrinkle in that offense.
Oh, totally.
It could be
I do agree.
something that changes the Packers season.
I think the Packers have generally come to the point in which they don't think Greg Jennings is going to be there next year, and I think Greg Jennings knows that,
Yeah.
which is part of the reason he's not playing. I think the Packers are now developing and or already knew that Randall Cobb is going to fill that role next year. So they kind of already are to the point that he's already filling that role now.
Yeah.
I would not be shocked if Randall Cobb ends up being the number 1 on that team. The problem for Cobb is if he ends up being number 1, he gets number 1 coverage, and then it's a whole different.
Yeah, no, he's not a number 1 guy. He's a Darren Sproles. But I mean, you need a Darren Sproles. For every number 1 wide receiver out there, you usually need a Darren Sproles, unless your name is Brandon Marshall or Calvin Johnson. You usually need a Darren Sproles to open it up for a Marcus Colston, you know? And I think that that's what has allowed. You're saying that Jordy Nelson is allowing Randall Cobb to be open. I think it's both ways. I think
agree.
Randall
No,
Cobb
I totally agree
allows
with
Jordy
Jordy.
to
I
be
didn't mean for
open,
it to come
too.
out that it was only one way.